It's green for go. They're racing.
He says go.
He says Tara.
And Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn.
Here comes another big boil over.
Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more.
This is in one race. The rest are almost in another postcode.
She is a star with a capital S.
It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that?
It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome to another Sprint Lane podcast episode. This is the Sunday session. My name is Greg Hayes and it was a fantastic night of racing at Club Menangle on Saturday night for the third running of the Eureka, the world's richest harness race. $2 million up for grabs, and the promotion and show that comes with it is great for the sport. The crowd turned up. I don't have any facts and figures, but it felt and looked like a younger crowd than we would normally see at the trots on a feature night. There was a lot of cheering and roaring as the horses came past the winning post, and I was having a chat with a few of the drivers in the Eureka who said they couldn't believe the roar when they passed the winning post the first time. So it was even noticeable out there on the track for the competitors as well. The third running of the race, also, again, won by a 4-year-old, Bay of Biscay, who went so close as a 3-year-old last year, returned and finally got his name onto the trophy. Perfectly prepared by Emma Stewart and Lleyton Tonkin. Well handled by Cam Hart. It was a case of everything going right on the biggest night for the whole team. Cam went forward at the start, worked his way to the front with See the Stars conceding, and when My Key to Success pushed forward to race first over, Hesitate got the 1-1 set. I think the biggest head-scratcher in the race was the decision by James Herbertson to go back at the start with Fighter Command. He went back, went roughly when James tried to actually put him into the race and then dropped out. The night belonged to Bay of Biscay. I remember speaking with Brett Coffey on this podcast before the Chariots of Fire. Of course, Brett works at Alabar, one of the part owners of Bay of Biscay, and we spoke about how if he could win the Chariots of Fire, then he would progress to the Miracle Mile. And while he went on to win the Chariots, the team made that decision to bypass the Miracle Mile, and they set him for the Eureka. So they said, no, we're going to forego the $1 million race, and we're going to aim up at the $2 million race, and it's turned out to be an absolute masterstroke. Foxdan for Team Zav, Ryan Sanderson and Emma and Clayton finished second in the race. He was given a perfect run and was hitting the line strongly. He's only tiny, but he tries his guts out. Just on Team Zav, Danny Zavitsanos and also Alabar owner Alan Galloway. Both of these gentlemen bought horses at the Calcutta on Friday night, and both made announcements that they would be donating any proceeds from the Calcutta to Ash Hart, the sister of Cam, who at the age of 28 is battling severe breast cancer. It was great to see Ash actually at the races on Saturday night, and I reckon Ash was the last one to speak with Cam before Cam jumped in the sulky to drive Bay of Biscay. I had a quick chat with her, passed on all my best. She mentioned she'd just finished a heavy dose of chemo, wasn't feeling the best, but she's been absolutely amazed by the messages of support and what the harness racing industry has done for her. To Alan and Danny, you blokes deserve great recognition for what you've done in donating your proceeds from the Calcutta to her. If you missed the full run-on, Hesitate was third, given the perfect run in the race by Luke McCarthy. Thought he was going to be right in the finish at the top of the straight when Luke pulled him out, but he just didn't finish it off. Go Mickey came charging down the outside for fourth, which gave Emma Stewart 3 of the first 4 horses past the line. Fifth was My Key to Success, so that actually gives them 4 of the first 5. Sixth was See the Stars. Seventh, Path to Greatness, who didn't have a lot of luck and looked to have a bit to offer. Eighth was Call to Order. Ninth, Fate Awaits, another one that had nowhere to go. And last was Fighter Command. Fighter Command was looked at after the race, after he galloped in the run. Nothing was found to be wrong by the vets. In other stories out of the night, I guess one of the best ones was See Your Art winning the Len Smith Mile in a remarkable mile rate of 147.5. Josh and Alicia Gallagher, they've only been married a very short time, and this horse has gone a long way to setting them up for a great life. They purchased the horse for $25,000, and it has now won nearly $250,000, and it's only won the one race. It's obviously been placed in an Inter-Dominion and banked $100,000, but Saturday night's win was another $80,000 going into the coffers. Josh doesn't get too excited externally. He keeps it all pretty under control, but last night was an emotional one for him. He was wiping away some tears. Josh keeps his nose clean, stays out of trouble, and he is a credit to the sport. what a finish that race was. See Art grabbing them and beating Captain's Knock. I Keep Smiling, You Betcha Tiger Pie, Max Delight, Swayze. It was an absolute blanket go. They were there right across the track. Cracking race. We can get some boring races in that top grade sometimes, but that was one of the best feature mile finishes I can remember since we've moved to the Menangle track on a full-time basis at the end of 2010. The Breeders' Challenge Blue Finals will also run on Saturday night. Good to see some of the country participants getting a nice result. Jack Painting trained his first Group 2 winner and races the horse with a group of mates. Jason Hewitt drove a winner for his father Bernie, who had a night out, winning 3 races in total. Mick Hardy won one of the big ones, and then the McDowell stable got something for the city trainers when Lleyton Green drove Smirk and Serene to victory. All in all, a fantastic night of racing. One other announcement on Saturday night was the launch of a new educational tool for harness racing, with the Racing Simulator being unveiled by Harness Racing New South Wales. Now, I did do a couple of interviews on the night, and Harness Racing New South Wales will be putting together a social media piece about it. It gives people a chance to drive in a race. It's like you're at the amusement park or down, at the arcade playing a game, but it's a simulator. You sit in the sulky, obviously moves with the horse. I know Darren Binskin has been working closely with Harness Racing New South Wales on the project. It was part funded by a government grant, and it has taken 3 years to develop. Let's hope it encourages new participants into the sport and also plays a vital role in teaching young participants already in harness racing how to drive and react to certain race conditions. I know they'll be taking it around to a number of career expos, which is great for the future of the sport. Fantastic concept. Great to catch up with Morris Logue from Harness Racing New South Wales to talk about it. The Minister for Racing, David Harris, was trackside to cut the ribbon, and it was great to speak with him about the project as well. A couple of first-time winners during the week, and obviously that adds onto the back of what is a massive show already being Eureka Night. Matthew Atkinson drove his first winner at Goulburn, and Kira Langlar won her first race at Bathurst. Now, I've reached out to them both. Kira had work and couldn't join me this week, but I'll endeavour to catch up with her on next week's podcast. But I did manage to track down Matt, and I'll play that interview at the end of the podcast today. So who else will you hear from? You're going to hear with each of the feature winners on Saturday night. So you'll hear from Cam Hart, Josh Gallagher, Bernie Hewitt, Jason Hewitt, Mick Hardy, Jack Painting, and Lleyton Green. So much to get through today. First up, let's hear from Cam Hart after he drove Bay of Biscay to victory in the world's richest harness race, the Eureka. This young bloke has just won the world's richest harness race. Cam Hart driving Bay of Biscay. Cam, what does that feel like?
Oh, it feels unbelievable. It's hard to describe, but it's been probably 12 months in the making this year. We've been running second in the race last year, and a lot of the credit has to come down to the ownership and obviously Emma and Clayton for having him spot on tonight. They missed a couple of big races this year to look after him for this night, and really glad it's paid off for them.
You stuck like glue with him the whole way through. You're obviously very keen to hold that seat behind him.
Yeah, definitely. I just believed he was the best horse, leading into the race, and then when obviously everyone got announced, I've just had full confidence in him. He loves the Menangle style of racing. He's such a big, strong horse with good speed, so it suits him here, and full faith in Emma and Clayton to get him peaked for tonight. They're just unbelievable at what they do.
So once you got through and got to the front, first quarter 30.1, what are you thinking?
I thought I stole it from then, to be honest. I was very shocked I let him buzz off the gate the first 100, and I was pretty shocked to cut out the majority of the field and end up in the position I was. I was obviously still 3 wide, but the 3-year-olds probably sorted themselves out a little quicker than I thought they would, and once I was able to sort of roll around on the bit and control that first quarter, I wasn't too worried about Mickey to success sort of applying pressure. Then once I got that first quarter the way it was, I was very confident in running the last 1200 pretty slick.
Top of the straight, how confidence levels pretty high?
Really high, yeah. He just jogged around the corner, 26 and a piece, and he quickened off that for me, and I've thought pretty well in that moment. If someone gets me from here, they've gone unbelievable, so really confident.
Mate, I was talking to your mum and dad after the race. 17-year-old boy, going back nearly a decade ago, but you made the decision to come to Sydney from Junee, and there was no wage. You came up and you were helping Shane Henderson.
Yeah, that's right. It's always been a dream of mine to, make it in, all these bigger races. And obviously in the country, you probably don't get that kind of racing. So I knew the city was where I needed to be. And, very fortunate Shane gave me a go. They're a beautiful family and done a lot for me, actually. So, yeah, he was really good to me to start my career. He was very patient. Drove a lot of bad races here, but, learned a lot off him. And, they're obviously very close to me to this day. And that was another thing with the race. It was very special to have Ryan next to me after the line.
And Alan Galloway, who of course owns Alabar, announced last night he bought the horse at the Calcutta, Bay of Biscay, and he's donated all the prize money to your sister, who's battling cancer. So that's just a fantastic show of support from Alan Galloway.
Yeah, that was great from Alan. He said that to me tonight, and I was really overwhelmed, to be honest, and been really overwhelmed with all the support from our industry. Not surprised by it, because when people in this industry are going through tough times, they always rally behind whoever it is, and very fortunate that Ash has got such great support from everyone. And obviously a special shout out to Wagga and the Riverina Paceway down there to get a bit of an auction going, and very thankful for everyone that's jumped on and supported that.
Last two questions. In terms of Swayze, what do we make of his run tonight?
I thought he was huge. I thought it was one of his best runs in his career, to be honest. Just to sit one off the whole way in a 47 mile and then still come, the last 100, he was sort of up on the winner's back kind of thing and beating the length back up on the bit, so he sort of got chopped out of a run. But yeah, I thought he was huge, especially first up, and I think he felt as good as ever, so we're really looking forward to a massive prep with him.
And you've won some major races with him, obviously, but where does that Eureka victory sit in terms of feature victories for you?
Yeah, it's right up there for sure. It's it's a huge thrill to win a race, and obviously the money is one thing, but I think it's going to be a very prestigious race going forward. Hopefully, it only gets bigger and better in the coming years, and obviously had a lot of good success with Swayze overseas in New Zealand and had an Inter-Dominion winner at Melton, but I have to place it right up there with them.
Congratulations, well done, mate.
Thank you.
Great to speak with Cam. I said to him after I concluded that interview, he is a credit to the industry. He is exactly that. Pin-up young bloke, does everything right, been brought up well by his family, polite. He is the complete package. So, from that victory to Josh Gallagher after the win of Sia Art in the Len Smith Mile. 1:47.5 the time, was out of this world, and there weren't too many people cheering after he went over the line first at 150 to 1 in the crowd, but I spoke with Josh about the victory. This horse has just been a phenomenon since you guys have purchased the horse.
Yeah, he's been a real, marvel. We really only bought him to chase the Carnival Cups, and, Swayze, he looked the hardest to beat, but there's good money for second and third, so we really only bought him for that, and, to go to Brisbane and run third and come back here and win a Len Smith Mile, you don't get much bigger.
He's had 24, 25 starts for you. He hasn't won a race until tonight, but he's banked nearly $250,000. Like, just a freakish performance. Was he an expensive purchase off the Grimson stable?
No, he wasn't. It was only $25,000, and for him to come out and done what he's done in a short amount of time, it's been a really good ride and something I'll cherish forever. And it's got to be a great kickstart for you and Alicia, who haven't been married long. Yeah, it's going to set us up, for a lifetime, really. These horses don't come like this that often, so can't be more thankful, and the team at Lucky Lodge have been a real big part of it too. What did you think coming up the straight? Did you think you were a winning chance? Not really. Just having Max Delight and Sure Thing captain in the 1-1 and 1-3. I thought they'd probably got the trips of the races, but we got a good run up the fence, and I thought, to be honest, I thought Captain's Knock won, but I seen Bronte point to me, and it was pretty good. Mate, this is what dreams are made of. Wins like this, horses like this. Congratulations. Thank you. Cheers. Another good young bloke who has a big career in front of him. 4 Group 2 Breeders' Challenge Blue finals were run as well. The 2-year-old fillies final was won by One More Reason, trained by Michael Hardy, was beaten in the heats, but turned the result around in the final. I must admit, I did feel for Fred Hastings, the race caller, with One More Reason and Where's My Reason fighting out the finish. I spoke with both Mick Hardy, the trainer, and driver Josh Gallagher after the win. Well, Mick, that was a pretty tough performance. She really fought it out to the line.
Yeah, no, I've been really happy with her all her life, actually. I just was a little bit disappointed in her. She went real good in the heat, but I just thought she might have needed a couple more runs on the track. So I brung her back down and worked her on Saturday, and Jason looked after her for a few days for me, and yeah, it paid off.
What about the driver change? Why did you decide not to drive?
They go around all the time here, and I kind of don't drive enough anymore. If I could get a few more drives, I probably would have, but it's just a bit more confident putting on a better driver.
And what did you think of her run in the heat?
Yeah, I thought it was fairly good. I kind of thought she still should have won, but we just locked wheels a bit coming down the straight. But yeah, I was happy with her.
Big party tonight?
I'd say so. It'll probably be a big week.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, Josh, great tough performance, and your first drive, what did you think of her?
Yeah, look, she's she's done a little thing, but she gives it all. 51.8 off the fence, pretty good going. I think she's got a big future ahead of her.
So how did it come about you getting the drive? I spoke with Mick Hardy earlier, and he was talking about he doesn't drive down here often enough, but did he just ring you out of the blue?
He actually left it with Grimo for the week, and Grimo approached me, and I was suspended for the heats, so didn't really have much for it, and I think I was the last one to get a drive, and it worked out beauty in the end.
Always nice to win a nice race on a big night.
Bloody oath, yeah. There's a good crowd, and to do it for a country fella like Mick, it's pretty special.
Congratulations, well done.
Cheers, thank you.
The 2-year-old Colts and Geldings race was won by Bogdanovich, trained and driven by Jack Painting. Jack explains where the 2-year-old got his name from in this chat. Jack, he has enjoyed Group 1 success as a driver, but Saturday night was clearly his career highlight as a trainer. Jack, you've driven a Group 1 winner, but to train a Group 2 winner, how does that feel?
Yeah, no, it's awesome, Hazy. Sort of what you dream of, to do it on a stage like this with such a huge crowd. It was just buzzing when we were heading up the straight up here. The crowd just lifted, and it was an unreal feeling, mate.
You ended up 3 pegs, and then on the corner, everything went right for you. You were able to get to the outside, really let down once you were able to flatten up.
Yeah, it just worked out perfect, but he's not the best steering horse, and I just couldn't get him quite off the wheel of the one in front of me. I was trying to get off a bit quicker, but he was just lugging in, and then once I got him to the outside, and once he seen fresh air, he let down so good.
A bunch of mates race this horse with you?
Yeah, mate, so we bought the mare out of New Zealand. She done a terrific job as a racehorse, and then this bloke's the first foal out of her, so to do it with all them boys, it's unreal.
And what about the thrill, big crowd? I thought you were going to go the salute there at the end.
Yeah, no, it was too close to be getting too carried away. But yeah, as I said, I've never heard a buzz like that. The crowd was just unreal. The atmosphere was electric.
And the group of mates, are you basketball fans? Is where Bogdanovich, the name, comes from?
Oh, there's a bit of a story behind it. One of the boys that was in the ownership of the mare, he jumped out, and we call him the Serb. So we named the first foal out of... His stable name's the Serb, and then one of the other owners loves his basketball, so that's where the name come from. So it's a bit unfortunate that one of our mates unfortunately jumped out and doesn't get to experience this, but yeah, mate, we're ecstatic.
Party tonight, well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Hazy.
The 3-year-old fillies was won by Smirk and Serene, unfashionably bred out of by Lord Zinzan, a horse that raced for the McCarthys from 2015 until 2020. Purchased by the McDowell family, this filly, Smirk and Serene, and has done a good job since joining the team, remains unbeaten. Lleyton Green drove the winner for his bosses, and this is what he had to say. Third Group 2 win. Congratulations, well done.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, she's a pretty special filly. We really like her, and fingers crossed for the bred challenge next couple of weeks, yeah.
So in the early stages, you got away with a pretty slow first quarter, but then there was a serious question asked through that second quarter.
Yeah, they wanted to have a look for the front, but we're always going to hold. And I had the faith in the horse, and I knew she'd be too good for him.
And what were you thinking at the 400-metre mark? Because you had worked a sub-28 second quarter, did you think you had some petrol left in the tank?
Yeah, she had plenty at the time. I knew I still had a horse at the 400. I heard Will sort of halfway up the straight, but I knew I'd hold him off, and she ran to the line strong.
What does the stable have in terms of an opinion of her? Like, what are you thinking?
To be honest, I really think she's probably our best filly, 3-year-old filly. We've got another one at home that's still pretty good, so she have to keep improving herself to post.
Okay, and Dean and Kerry, she started at a different stable, turned up after a couple of runs, and they've done a really good job, unbeaten since joined the stable.
Yeah, exactly. I think we bought her about mid-February, I think, this year, and she won her first start for us and then had a good spell and then put her back for tonight. And yes, she went super tonight. So
Big party tonight after winning a $100,000 race?
to be honest, I'm getting pretty old, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but either tonight or tomorrow for sure.
If you're old, I'm ancient. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
The 3-year-old Colton Geldings race was won by Jungle Dragon. Good drive by Jason Hewitt. Controlled it from in front, dashed away on the turn when he knew he had his rivals beat. I've known Jason since he was a very young child. It's great to see him back in the sport after a couple of periods away. Hard worker, comes from a lovely family, and he was pretty pumped with the win. Well, Jungle Dragon, unlucky as a 2-year-old, got through to some big races and then finally picks up a big one tonight. Jason Hewitt, how was that?
That was awesome, mate. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Greg. We just to do that for old Ray, like he's one of our best owners, and just nothing seems to faze him. He just keeps coming around to the stables and he keeps supplying us with horses, and it's just great to get a win for him. Yeah.
So you're able to salute. Did you have a few mates in the crowd?
That was for young Abby. Abby does everything with the horse, and I said I'd do it if I won for her. So yeah, it was good.
Travelling pretty well at the top of the straight?
Oh, he felt awesome, yeah. When Luke come up outside me, you could just feel him go to another level, and he just wanted to race away then. So we just had to hold him for long enough, and once I let him go, he really excelled, yeah.
And now to the Breeders' Challenge?
Yeah, he'll go there. He'll go to the Breeders' Challenge, and hopefully a little blow after that, yeah.
Mate, where have you been for the last few years?
I just give it away for a little while and then just trained a few myself. But I've always been shoeing. But then I went to Ireland for 8 months with my partner and our 2 kids. And, just got the taste for it when I got back. So back into it with Burn again, yeah.
So the time in Ireland, were you working? Was it a holiday? What was it?
Worked the whole time, yeah. Just basically give our kids a bit of time with their grandparents in Ireland, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Never touched the horse while I was there, and I just missed them when I got back. So
great to have you back in the sport. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
While we're on the theme of the Hewitts, let's hear from Jason's father, Bernie, after the win of Royal Cruiser in the Stockade. 6 weeks ago, I thought the horse would get into the Eureka, but a subpar effort a few weeks back knocked him out of contention on Saturday night. He bounced back and bounced back hard. Let's hear from Bernie. Bernie, is it a case of what could have been? A month ago, he was in line for a spot in the Eureka.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. I felt he's one of the strongest 4-year-olds about, and it all went a bit pear-shaped 2 weeks ago when he led up and knocked. Well, he didn't run on. He had a problem, and we found that and fixed that, and now he's been back to form again now. So his work's been terrific. So I was confident to run a big race tonight.
Pretty special too, because he's out of a mare that was pretty special to you and provided you with the first Group 1 winner.
Exactly right. Yeah, she won the Breeders' Challenge as a 3-year-old, Royal Story, and the first foal of her. So it's very special. Yeah.
And third as well with our goat. He did a good job because there was a lot of speed on the early stages.
There was, yeah. It was a run a bit upside down there early. I think he missed the start a little bit for some reason and had to do a fair bit of work, so a lot of credit in his run as well.
Well, congratulations with the win tonight. Well done.
Good on you. Thanks very much.
So that just about wraps up Eureka night. I guess the next question is what happens to the race now? It was given to New South Wales for 3 years, and those 3 years are now up. From what I'm hearing, the race will continue to be run, but whether it moves to another state is the big question. Will it pop up in Queensland? Only time will tell. They've obviously got the Inter-Dominion. It's not cheap to run a Eureka and an Inter-Dominion, but maybe Queensland are the state that can afford it. It has started with a bang. Let's hope it continues to grow. As promised at the start of the podcast, I said Matthew Atkinson drove his first winner on Tuesday at Goulburn. I spoke with him after the win and learned a little bit more about the young fellow.
4 deep there is Flying Colours, waiting on a run as they straighten, is homebound. They really pack on the final turn. We're going to the lead favoured Grace. Down the outside is Flying Colours. Still there trying to whack away in the middle is Ideal Andy and then Ileana, but sweeping up now, hitting the lead Flying Colours. It's Flying Colours in front, close to home. Flying Colours too good. Flying Colours first, Photo second and third.
Love these chats. First time winners. I get to introduce myself to these younger participants and learn a little bit more about them as well. 16-year-old Matthew Atkinson opened up his winning account on Tuesday afternoon at Goulburn, and I've got no doubt he's going to remember that race until he is very old and grey. The horse was Flying Colours, and Matthew is joining me to have a chat about the victory and his career. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Greg. It's good to be on.
Mate, I'm tipping Flying Colours might be the favourite horse in the stable right now after that win on Tuesday.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't before, but he is now.
Tell us about your relationship with Flying Colours, because I think, did it provide you your first place getter as well?
Yeah, first up for 12 months. He came a couple months ago for the Water Walker, and then BPM decided to send him here for Dad to train. So then I've done a fair bit with him. He's a bit of a nervy horse, so he needs just one or two people just to look after him, and I was the guy to do that, I guess.
I always like asking, what was that feeling when you hit the line first? Have you ever experienced anything like it before?
Nah, definitely not. It was, you can't even put it into words, really. I was still in a bit of shock as I went over the line. I knew I went over first, but I don't know, just didn't feel like I won until everyone started congratulating me and that.
So did a few of the drivers out on the track congratulate you on that first win?
Yeah, James Rattray and Taylor Osmond said congrats when I was coming back, and then when I was coming off the track, David Aiken came up to me and shook my hand in that, which was good.
Yeah, fantastic. Mate, what were the instructions from Dad pre-race going into it?
Nah, Dad's pretty chill. Like, he just says, have fun, just drive him however you want to, and he says the driver's job. If you mess up, it's your fault, not his.
Take me through the run, because you got through well off that second row, and there was a fair bit of speed on in the early stages.
Yeah, well, looking at the form, I thought I was following out the favourite, so I thought a fair few horses would come from the outside. So I thought if I punched her, I'd definitely get cover, and that's what happened. And then he's a nice horse. Like, he's been racing good horses around Bassett, like Brad Hewitt and Amanda Turnbull's. Just getting too far back there, his form didn't represent how he was going. We all thought he was a good chance, but he just needed to put it to the races. And then when I pulled him out, he gave a good feel. So then I was very confident by the turn.
You were pretty patient. You didn't want to come out 3 and 4 wide too far from home. You made your run at the right time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just waiting for that horse. The horse behind me started to drop off a little bit, so it dragged the one behind it a fair way back, which gave me a fair bit of time just to stay patient and go when I wanted to.
Turning for home, I saw you look both sides to check how the rest were travelling. What were you thinking at the top of the straight?
I was just hoping nothing else was running past me. When he got to the front, he pulled up a little bit, so I got a bit worried. But once the one on the inside kicked up a bit more, he just went to another gear and put him away a little bit.
Yeah, because Taylor's horse definitely kicked back late underneath you and made sure you earned the win.
Yeah, I got a bit worried because he pulled up a little bit when he got to the front. So I was like, he's going to do me bad here. So, yeah.
So a few extra pats for Flying Colours over the last couple of days?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's definitely one of my favourites now.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you still at school, or are you working with the horses full time?
Nah, I'm working for Dad full time now.
How long have you been doing that for?
I left school, I think maybe 3-4 months ago. So been there for a while.
And was it a tough decision to leave school, or is it something that you've wanted to work with the horses for quite some time?
Nah, it definitely wasn't a hard decision. I wanted to leave ages ago, but just Mum and Dad wanted me to stay in school a little bit longer. But as the team got bigger, Dad couldn't do them by himself, so I kind of had to leave school, which was good.
What are your dreams and plans in the sport? Where would you like to go with it?
I'd like to make it full-time driving. I don't think I like the training side, but I'd rather focus on driving a bit more.
Yep. And what's a normal day for you at the moment? What time do you start in the morning with the horses, and what time are you working through until?
At the moment, we're starting about 7:30 just because it's real cold down here. And then we nearly go till about 2 o'clock in the daytime and then feed up later.
And so you guys are based at Goulburn?
Just before Goulburn on the other side, like near Marulan.
Yep. And where do you fast work?
We've got a 600-metre track here, so it's good. We don't have to go into Goulburn or anything.
Oh, very good. What about interests outside of harness racing? Do you have any?
Oh, I did used to play footy, so I don't mind watching a bit of footy and a bit of boxing, a bit of UFC and that. That's always basketball. It's always good to watch.
So did you play league for one of the local teams in Goulburn or Marulan?
Yeah, I played for Goulburn Stockman this year, and since I was probably about 6, so I've always played footy.
And are you still playing underage footy, or you're playing grade? What do you?
I finished under 16s this year, and this will be that was my last year playing footy. I'll do horses full time now without worrying about footy.
Okay. And what about the stable? You said Dad's got a few there. How many are you guys working?
I think about 14 or 15. So we've got a few.
Yeah, it keeps you nice and busy. And when are we likely to see you back out at the races again having a drive?
No, I actually don't know at the moment. Probably next week sometime, maybe at Wagga.
Okay. Do you have a favourite track? Probably Goulburn's pretty popular for you now, but do you have a favourite track that you've driven on so far?
Oh, I've had no luck at Bathurst, but I do like driving there. Wagga's good. And, yeah, definitely Goulburn now. It wasn't my favourite at first, but it is now.
And have there been participants and drivers out there that have been willing to offer you some advice and to help you along as you've been learning the driving scene?
Yeah, definitely. Robbie Morris has been unreal. Cam Hart and Harry Ross, they've all been unreal with me. Like, Robbie always goes out of his way and tells me what I'm doing wrong and that, which is good. He doesn't have to do that, so I'm really grateful. Same with Cameron and Harry.
I think that's one of the great parts of harness racing is the camaraderie between the participants. Like in some sports you would see, young guys coming through given absolutely no advice or no help whatsoever because they're seen as a competitor and at some stage a challenger. But I don't think that happens in harness racing, and if you're willing to listen, the top guys are willing to have a chat to you.
Yeah, they definitely are. Like, Dad's always told me you never know more than those top drivers and that. And once you get out there, you definitely realise that they know much more than you. And if you're willing to learn, there's only one way to get better, is just to listen.
Yep, for sure and certain, mate. That is fantastic that you've picked that up already. Hey, very nice to chat with you today. Great to learn more about you. Congratulations on that first victory and good luck going forward.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
That just about wraps up the podcast for another week. No tips from Mr. T and I this week. I finished with a bang in our tipping competition. I got a couple of winners at Goulburn, ended up taking out Winter. So I actually think that makes the scoreboard 3-2 to Mr. T in our tipping competition over the seasons. We'll start it fresh again next week. It was great to be on track on Saturday night. And thanks to all the participants who make themselves available on those big nights. It is very much appreciated. Catch you all next week. It's bye for now.